Well, hello everyone. I'm excited today to be playing as the Kingdom of Wingbardy in the Equestria War mod for Hearts of Iron 4. Due to the release of Zebrica, Wingbardy itself has become a much more interesting country to play as they're a country that's heavily involved in the affairs of this new continent. Maybe heavily is a bit of a strong word, but they're at least somewhat involved. We'll be experimenting around with that today, seeing where it takes us. We'll also be going down one of the non-traditional routes. The main historical route for this country is meet with Biccolini. We will not be doing that. Anyways, we'll start preparing our army and see where this takes us. It's also very important too that we do this focus first and immediately, or this decision event will fire here and we will fall into a civil war. It's pretty easy to not do that because these are the only focuses that are available, but it is possible to just forget that this is a thing and not select a focus and then have the civil war for no reason. Okay, so we now have martial law, which will stop the march by Biccolini, so we are safe for now, and we will immediately do the royal intervention to remove the political deadlock. We'll still get a terrible leader, but we'll deal with that in a second. So we now have the famous Hearts of Iron 4 dismissed parliament, fallen government leader, a true classic. Originally, of course, it's in the King's Party path for the UK, and we will want to get down to this focus so that we can get a new leader, the king as the leader, similar again to the King's Party path. We too will want to deal with the mafia as Wingbardy. We are a parallel to real-world Italy. Additionally too, we have this monarchy support mechanic, and we have to deal with potential anti-monarchy uprisings. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we don't have to deal with the civil war, but it might happen. This focus too will give us plenty of political power that we will use on the decisions that it unlocks, and we will do these decisions very fast so that we don't immediately have this civil war. Luckily, as we do the decisions too, it gives us more time before the civil war fires. And how this support system works is we can only have our current support for the king be as high as the neutrality support in the country. And the neutrality support isn't quite above the 51% point we need it to be to do this focus, even if we have the support. So it's kind of a complicated thing, but the neutrality support will soon be there, so then the king's support can get as high as the neutrality support. And there, just as planned, we did a visit to local workers, and that has stopped the anti-monarchy uprising, and now we can instate the king as the leader. And this is where the thing that I discussed earlier begins. We are going to move into the Kingdom of Abyssinia, led by the cats. It's going to be interesting. They don't have a focus tree per se, and they're not incredibly strong, but we're also not incredibly strong. I'm sure though, at the very least, we will have a very decent chance of wrapping this war up pretty fast. I know that's a lot of stuff added together, but that's the best that I can promise. And we'll train 3 extra divisions too, just to help out. Okay, and we are doing this focus here. We will expand into Cat. That'll make our invasion much easier, as we're not going to be invading out of a single province. We also have this Altar of the Fatherland stuff that we will do. We have extra political power, and I already have all the advisors that I want. And interesting, it looks like they refused giving over Cat, so we will go to war immediately. I prefer this honestly too, because all it really does is save us 56 days. It would have been nice to invade from less than just one province, but yeah, it's not going to help them much in the end. I won't battle plan just in case, but we probably could battle plan if we wanted to be a bit risky. This is interesting too. We now can investigate the murder of 972, a father's ghost to rest. We'll go ahead, pin this division here. That division is moving away, so okay, never mind. They had such a low organization that we just defeated them. Should be pretty free, especially because we were smart and attacked early instead of letting them build up and get too strong. I'll also go on to limited conscription because our manpower is getting a bit precarious. On colonialism and imperialism, Wingbardy shall be strong. Yeah, that's great. And even though we won't be doing these wars immediately, we will do the Wingbardy Rises focus to get 15% more war support before before this war ends so that we can go on to war economy. We're also having some issues making sure our heir will be worthy for the throne. We have these decisions. He also has a lot of addictions. This seems like it could be pretty problematic for the monarchy. Okay, we won. This is great. And with our 40% collaboration government, that'll help with the occupation quite a bit. Once we complete this focus 2, we will complete the intervention in Arabia focus to intervene in Saddle Arabia. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. We might just declare war on all of them and take it for ourselves. I'm not sure what's gonna happen exactly. We'll just want to intervene before we finish. Okay, so we're not directly intervening, we're just supporting the National Salvation Movement. I wonder, will they become our puppet if they win? I hope so. For now though, since we're not getting directly involved down there, we will move to attack the Falkorian military government. They've already overthrown their queen, so we shall attack them for betraying their monarch. We also already own their technically capital of Falkor, so there are some harsh feelings between us and them. And it looks like tariff war or more direct banning of our imports. Hopefully they retract this, otherwise we might need to invade them. And the Falkorians are ill prepared to fight against us. They can barely man their border. We won't even have to call in our allies to beat them. And Hippogriphia, who banned our imports, is now going to send us Lend-Lease. It looks like we will too need to connect the railroads over here. I didn't notice that there wasn't one. I guess too now we'll start looking into the murder mystery. And this war is finished up too. Very nice. We should be able to integrate them. I know we are in the other path, so I'd be surprised if we can't in this one. We'll go ahead and do this focus too to declare ourselves the United Kingdoms of Carthinia, capital being Carthan, of course. There's also a potential too that we could maybe be allied with the Kingdom of Aquileia. Their neutrality party is winning. They're crushing the revolution. We also went with the monarchy. I'm not exactly sure though if we will get an alliance because we did not do the path where we directly ask them for an alliance, but maybe they'll ask us. In this mod, it's important to note that you can't just make factions and join factions with whoever you want. It has to be through focuses and decisions. And nice, our heir has shaken off his hedonistic ways. We have truly reformed him. So we now have this special integration law for Falkor, and unfortunately it looks like we're going to be permanently missing one piece of evidence, so we kind of just have to make an accusation. I guess it's probably not Marie discreet. Okay, we now have to find a way to kidnap the one we think is guilty because the Empire won't give him to us. I'm guessing it's not a decision, it's probably going to be like an actual operative operation, so we'll start upgrading our intelligence agency, I guess. We'll also declare war on Griffinstone too as this is going on, and here we go. We've taken Griffinstone, and we've almost taken the railroad that connects our capital to Griffinstone. And we will be doing a quick war against House Eries and Avian before the Kingdom of Aquileia gets up there, but first we should probably help Francistria with the Terran War of Independence. I guess never mind, the war just ended, so we were a little too late. We can just justify on them later. Okay, yeah, Aquileia is not doing very good. I've never seen them lose this war, but it really looks like they're going to lose this war. I don't know if we really care. They're usually kind of strong, and then we'll just be able to invade all these countries individually that they declared war on all at the same time, and then we will just have a massive faction. Okay, I guess we will try the operation to kidnap him. It takes 30 days and it's risky. 20% chance of success. Maybe we should not do it? Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe we should do some other operations, though I don't think these other operations will actually help that much. And we will now go into Orantiga, we'll start justifying on Terran, and then we will wait for Aquileia to maybe die. Okay, and Skyfall saved Aquileia by declaring war on one of the nations that they were losing to, so they'll win now, and then they'll probably declare on us to try to take our puppet states. We will too now make our new light tanks and start producing a lot of these. Our puppets will all make so much infantry that we probably won't need to make any ourselves anymore. And the operation to kidnap him from the Griffonian Empire was a success, ladies and gentle Griffs. We got him. We will just give him life imprisonment. That's fine. And Terra nationalized their oil fields. That's really bold considering we're about 40 days away from a war goal. And since we kept him alive, we can interrogate him. Maybe we'll learn something new. There's no real reason to keep spying on the Empire right now. We'll move our agents over to Aquileia. Search the files in the Regency Admiralty Chamber in Griffinheim. You'll find your answers there. Okay, maybe we should have our agents go back to Griffinheim. This is kind of weird. Fancistria wouldn't join this war, so we can't give them these states back. What I'll do instead is create a new puppet and take their civilian factories. So we'll just puppet them there and add war reparations on both of their factories that we can. Now we have a very big faction. I think next we will look towards New Maryland and the Federated Parishes of Sycamon, while Aquileia tries to finish this up. We do have a border now, so we could invade them, but I don't want to invade them and then have to manually justify war goals on all these guys. I'd prefer if they could just capitulate them and then we can have a 1v1. Okay, interesting. It turns out the entire Regency Council for Grover V was behind the murder. We get this really good national spirit too now, and we get an attack bonus against the Empire, so that's nice. It's not like we really needed it. The Empire is miles behind us. Since we have so much intelligence on them too, we can see exactly where they are in their focus tree. And we have at least a year or two, or maybe even more, before we have to face off against them. And we'll finally too go about removing our recovering economy national spirit. And Aquileia finally finished up that war, so we will begin justifying on them. Seems like they have an ally. I guess they are allied with these islands, but they're just a dominion, and I don't think we should have take them, and even if we do have to take them, we have a close island and a strong navy, so we will be fine. We'll start justifying though. They will eventually declare war on us because they should be able to get war goals against our puppets, so we'll have to fight them eventually, no matter what. As for New Maryland, this war should not be difficult. Their army isn't very strong. They declared their independence, so they're not a puppet of a more powerful nation, and their more powerful nation's probably not going to exist soon anyway. And our naval invasions should be successful. Nice. We will now click this decision to establish the Protectorate of New Maryland under our control. There we go, and we take this state for ourselves. Yeah, see, now they're counter-justifying against us too. This is inevitable. The reason we have to justify ourselves, though, is because once they get this war goal that they're trying to get right now, they probably are going to be too scared to declare on us, though their war goal will be permanent, so we will forever be at risk of them randomly declaring war on us, so we have to take them out just so we don't have to worry about being in a big war and then they randomly decide to finally use that war goal. Okay, I admit I was wrong. They did declare an offensive war on us before our war goal finished. Our war goal doesn't really matter anymore, but we can't stop justifying it because we're at war with them, so we'll just wait to get it anyways. And we will let everybody join our war, and then they should be taken out pretty soon. Okay, and we took them out. I will try to minimize border gore as much as possible by keeping most of Aquileia together, at least what they have cores on. Okay, a ton of new puppets, ton of war reparations too. 15 factories from Aquileia, and 5 from here, 1 from here, a lot of stuff. We took their navy. Here's how our faction looks right now, all pretty good. We'll then go into the Federated Parishes. Maybe we can attack the communists over here. I don't think there would be any harm in doing that. I do want to go back though and do what I originally talked about and expand in Zebrica too. This is probably the most difficult war so far, mainly because supply is really annoying in this area, but they are decently strong. Before the war started, they were stronger than Aquileia. We've encircled some of their divisions now though, so they're not as powerful. Okay, I was just moving all my divisions over here, and then we got a surprise declaration of war from the Griffonian Revolutionary State. They shouldn't be able to capitulate us before all of our divisions get back. Now that all of our allies are called in, hopefully they'll move their divisions to defend our border. They're sending 1 division, that's good too. They're expeditionary forces, that work. Yeah, now they're way far away from their supply lines and they're just going to get encircled and destroyed easily. You can also too, if a nation is your actual puppet, request their forces and then they have to give them over to you, and that's what we did for a few of these nations to get 20 new divisions. We can't do that for just our 2 normal allies, but everybody else we can just request their forces. Mysterian is also not doing so well. They were attacking into us here for a while, but the only reason they were able to kind of push into these divisions is because they were not defending main straits crossing to their home island. The main thing we need right now are more synthetic refineries and fuel silos, so we'll begin building some of those. Yeah, and the Empire is really not doing that well. It's been a long time since I've seen them fail so bad. 10, 12, and they're nowhere near unified. I won't invade them right now because it would be way too easy. I at least want somewhat of a challenge. Nice, and Rumaire peacefully accepts an alliance with us. That's very nice. No need for combat, I guess. And it's finally time we do what we've been wanting to do all along. Some nice imperialism, maybe. We will try to invade their capital, but we will also attack from our very small land borders. Looks like our light tank should be able to break into this small state that was guaranteed by them, which is who we really declared war on. Now, since we have such a big and powerful faction, it's probably about time that we create a research society for all of our puppets and allies. We'll then too create the Security Council. See, the benefit to these research arrangements is now some of the earlier technologies that we didn't get, we can get giant bonuses for. We get a 10% bonus for every single person in our faction who's already researched it. So for like this one, we get a 250% bonus. Anyways, that's where we'll end things for today. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.